Is your frustration in the world also kind of a frustration with God? Hey, I'm Father Mark Mary with Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, and this is Ascension Presents. We look at the world events, or we look at those maybe in our own lives, and we're just frustrated with where they're at and where things are going. And we experience like our lack of power before these things, our lack of ability to change them, and we just get frustrated and angry and impatient and discouraged. And we might cry out like, Lord, like, where are you? Like, what are you doing? We need to recognize, I think, a couple of things. We believe in God. We know God sees what's happening, and He's allowing it to happen. He has a patience that's beyond our understanding, because He also has a sight beyond our sight. And He has this like resourcefulness. He has a capacity to bring about justice and to bring about good that is so hard for us to grasp. Sometimes it might feel scandalous. It might actually feel like, Lord, it's hard for me to believe in you and your goodness because of all the evil. And so here's like a couple of ways we can respond to this and process this with the Lord. I think a great place to begin is the Gospels. Jesus gives us this parable of the wheat and the weeds, right? There's somebody who goes out and they sow a bunch of wheat. And in the night, there's the scoundrel who goes out and sows a bunch of like other seeds, and weeds start to grow up. And so there's the wheat and the weeds, and the workers are like, hey, let us go and root out these weeds. And the person in charge of the land says like, no, don't do that. If you do that right now, like you're going to pull up some of the wheat as well. You're going to do damage to the good stuff by pulling out the bad stuff. But don't worry, like at the end, the time will come for the harvest. And all the wheat will be gathered. And then all the weeds as well will be gathered. And they will be burned. They'll be destroyed. Okay, so what do we do with this? How do we bring our frustration again with the world, and how the Lord's allowing like bad things to continue to happen, etc. First, we begin with saying like, yeah, the Lord, He actually sees it. Like the Lord sees it. Okay. Like I see what you see, and I actually feel about it the way you feel about it. Right? So we want to have this experience of sort of consolation and comfort of the Lord. No, like I see it, I hear you, I get it. And then the Lord says, like, trust me. And our ability to now move to the trust is going to be in a couple of different ways. First of all, I think we want to look at and find peace in, like, if you will, the way that parable ends. Like, there will be justice. Those who are doing evil, like, they're not going to get away with it. There will be a just reckoning, a just judgment of all things. And this is one place in which actually the last judgment, which can at times be scary, is also like really freeing. Is the Lord wants to say like, hey, like, no, I see it. I see what's happening. I don't like it, but trust me with taking care of it. I may not take care of it, again, the way you think it needs to be addressed. I may not respond to it in the timeline that you desire it to be responded to, but it will be responded to, and there will be justice. There will be justice. And I think these two, like reconciliations with the Lord, can give us a lot of freedom and allow us to move much more closely towards God's patience and a trust in God's timeline and patience. He sees it. He's going to address it, and it will be taken care of. Those who are doing wrong, like, there is punishment. There is a just response to that. To those who have been hurt by it, there will be mercy. There will be redemption. There will be healing. There will be like this response of the Lord to it. And I know it's hard because some of the difficult things that are happening are so painful and hurtful. And I understand where it's hard to reconcile it with our good God who sees it and knows it. But this is what the Christian faith proposes. And so the Lord just invites us like, hey, bring it to me, share it with me, know that I see it, that I'm with you. It's going to be taken care of. Trust me in my ability to bring about good where you might feel like bringing about good is like you despair of it. Like there's just no way I can understand how good can be brought out of the situation. And I think the Lord wants to say like, hey, like journey with me in this area. Like trust me, and I'll show you. I'm not just going to give you an answer because the answers might actually just be hurtful. Like I'm going to give you like my presence, which is with you for the journey. So walk with me, stay with me in it. I think the fruit of all this is a greater freedom, a greater peace, even a greater joy and a greater patience as we're able to sort of trust it all to the Lord. He sees it, He gets it, He's going to take care of it. All right, friends, so this is a little bit, I think, of how we can respond and understand God's patience when it's really hard for us to understand it and to get behind it. But the invitation is to get behind it because God is God and he in fact knows what he's doing. All right, friends, thanks for being with me. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, we are pilgrims on this earth. Somos peregrinos poco a poco, little by little. Vamos a llegar. We're going to make it. God bless y'all. And in the middle of the night, a little scoundrel goes out and sows a bunch of weed and not that kind of weed.